Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to WIMBIZ 2021 WIMCAP Access to Funding Masterclass. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. We promise that the next 2 hours, we're going to give you tools that you're going to use to access the funds that you need for your businesses. We're going to we've brought people here that are going to give you practical guidelines on how to access the funding that is available today for you and your business. And it's not just only about cash for your business, it's also about other initiatives that the two institutions have that you can access as a woman in business. And this is not just for Lagos, because we have LSCCF here, and it's also about businesses around Nigeria, all over Nigeria. So welcome today, and in the next 2 hours, please, if you're not driving, take your notes and put down everything here. We're going to send an email to you afterwards, but it's good for you to put down your notes. And if you have questions, please use the chat box. Our facilitators will be taking questions in between, and at the end of the day, there will also be other questions for them to answer. But we want this to be as interactive and impactful as possible. It is not just a class where you are only writing notes. It's practical guidelines that you're going to use immediately for you to access funds for your business. But we all know how it is to access these funds. The year is coming to an end. We need money for end of year events, for end of year projects, and we also need money for our 2022 plan. So please, let's get to it. I want to invite the committee chair, our very special Ijoma Taylor, the WIMCAP committee chair, to give us the welcome remark.
Thank you very much for that, Saudat. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. As Saudat has said, we're hoping that this would be an action-packed event. Truly, WIMBIZ recognizes that external challenges beyond the control of the entrepreneurs, they have the capacity to address their internal challenges, but some of these challenges are external to them. Most critical being instituting strong systems and structures that would enable them to grow their businesses, but also allow them to attract investments. With as Saudat has mentioned, this program taking our entrepreneurs through the processes that they have questions about for Lagos State, as well as with the LSCTF, as well as funding available through Access Bank program. With that said, I'll very quickly run through what we do as WIMBIZ. This is a WIMCAP event, but WIMCAP is only one of the programs that we run within WIMBIZ. WIMBIZ is a non-governmental organization. I'm sure there are quite a few of us that are familiar with WIMBIZ. It was founded in 2001 by 14 individuals to address gender equality in the workplace. Can I please ask you to just spotlight about WIMBIZ so that people would be able to follow as I speak? Okay, so you may all have been aware that this is 20 years of impacting women. At the last count, we estimate that we've impacted over 216 women. Now, we run our programs over 4 critical pillars. These pillars are advocating, empowering, connecting women, and networking. And we do this through various programs. Inspiring our women, we do this through the annual conference, through our CSR initiatives, through International Women's Day programs, for example. Through empowering our women, we do this through WIMCAP, through WIMBIZ mentoring, through ad hoc programs, as well as impact investment. For our advocacy pillar, we do this through WIMBOARD, WIMPOL, and advocacy. And, you know, we network and connect our women through our roundtable launches and associates engagements. Now, if you've been involved in WIMBIZ programs, you would know that we have always done this physically. We try to get together and network, but given the times that we're in, we have found that we're able to do this virtually. If you haven't experienced WIMBIZ, I really urge you at this point to sort of reach out and look at ways that you can seek to join WIMBIZ and really take advantage of everything that is available. We've been ranked sort of in 2018, we were ranked, we became the first NGO to be ranked 400 in the top 500. We've run a number of programs through the years. Really, in terms of governance structure, we have a board of trustees and an executive council, which dovetails into a management team at the HQ. I'm very pleased to say that I'm part of the executive council, 14-member council. And really, I think at this point in time, without saying too much, we'll talk a bit about our programs that are coming up very shortly. If you haven't signed up to the annual conference, I really do urge you to do this, but just really to sit back and, you know, try to, as Saudat has said, take notes. Because honestly, we have found more and more that funding is available for businesses. It really is. But what we found is a consistent fear in accessing what is available. And so WIMBIZ has recognized this and has tried to put together programs that will address these issues for our entrepreneurs. So with that said, I'd just like to say thank you again for signing up to this, and I hope you have an enjoyable 2 hours.
Thank you so much, Chair. Now let's get to it. Today, we have Mrs. Ibade Akpede. Mrs. Ibade Akpede is the head of SME, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Let me quickly read her brief, let me quickly read her profile. The head of SME at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. 14 years, cross-functional, multi-sector experience encompasses marketing, business development, general management from various companies, including Zenith Bank and BAC West Africa. Prior to joining LSETF, she worked as an SME consultant, continues to volunteer her time, impacting SMEs through business advisory, mentorship, and business clinics. As head of SME at LSETF, she facilitates access to funding for SMEs in Lagos and is responsible for development, implementation, and coordination of SME targeted programs in line with strategic initiatives of the fund. In short, she's the person you need. She's the one that you need to hold if you are in Lagos and you're an SME and you want money. So please listen to her, take notes, right? And ask her all the questions. Type it in the chat box. Let her know everything. Ask her, are you in doubt? What is the process? Are you confused? Ask her. She's going to be as brief as possible so that we can take on more questions, because we want this to be very interactive and we want it in such a way that by the time she finishes, you already know how much you want from Lagos State and what she can do to help you. All right. So please go ahead, Mrs. Akpede.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and the few gentlemen that are here with us. Please, I would like to be given access to share my screen. I can see it's disabled. And I want to believe you can all hear me. Okay, fantastic. I can share my screen now, so I'll do just that. Okay, so today, this afternoon, in Lagos or from wherever you're calling or joining us, I'll be taking us through a quick agenda. We have a loan process, which we'll talk about, the access to finance programs we have available, the process to go through them, and I'll also be giving you some information around our grant program dubbed Lagos Cares. I intend to make this brief, like Ms. Salami said earlier on, so that we can have time for question and answer. However, if you feel that you would like me to answer anything, kindly put it in the chat box, and I know when the time comes, it will be treated. Okay, so what do we do at Lagos State Employment Trust? Or why do we exist? We're an agency of government. We are 5 years young. And basically our vision and why we were created, our mandate, is really to create employment opportunities for Lagos residents. We know Lagos is big, people come in every day because of the opportunities. So coming into Lagos gives people that opportunity. One way to do this is to create access to finance, which is what I do on a daily basis. And I'll just go straight up to tell you what our loan process looks like. I decided to start off with this because really this is what I think it's important to note. Before I then go into talking about the specific programs, I didn't want us to get lost in the specific programs because this kind of gives a snapshot of everything we do. So from the application stage, which is the first step, applicants need to show that they are residents of Lagos State, and we confirm that through the Lastra ID card. You have to provide your BVN details because, again, you are getting finance. So it's important that you can demonstrate that you are bankable and that you have a bank account. You need to be registered as a taxpayer, which is why we would request your tax ID. We'll conduct a Know Your Customer. We'll do that on your background checks across different levels. I'll go into more details around that later on. Would require your bank statements. Now, if you are requesting for a loan above 500,000 Naira, we would expect that the bank statement you are giving us is for the business as against your personal bank statements. We have the loan category called Micro Enterprise Startup that requires you to have a training certificate. I'll talk about that one as we go on. Now, so from application, the next stage is the review process where we validate all of the documents you have given to us because we want to be sure that they are well documented and we can validate. Then we take you through our internal control process, which is internal to us. We also have an external assessment where your supporting documents are reviewed. We also then conduct a Know Your Customer using our business development support partners. And then we also use our fulfillment banks. For example, we have Access Bank on the call. They are one of our partner banks for the W initiative. They also conduct a KYC pre-approval from our end. But for some others, it is post-approval. Then following this, we take it for management approval or we take it for board approval, depending on the amount. So you see that we go through a lot of steps. Following the approvals, you then get your loan disbursed if you are successful. But it doesn't end there. There are some conditions you have to meet. You have to provide guarantors who can show that if you are unable to repay, they can help. Because one good thing with the loans at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund is that we do not ask for collaterals. We do not ask for an arm and a leg. We'll talk more about that as we go on. Collaterals like fixed assets like your land and things like that. Then we communicate to those who are successful. We also publish this on our website, and then the repayment process goes on. You can see that it's very easy, right? Like it's so easy, almost like you can do and start, you can start off and do everything within 5 minutes. But actually all of these different things take some days. So we try to give ourselves a turnaround time of 30 days. It's still work in progress, upfront disclosure. We are expecting that as time goes on, we'll be much better in terms of our turnaround time. So these are some of the information that you have to provide as an applicant. You have to give us personal details such as your name, your date of birth, your email address, your the address of your business as well as your residential address, mobile number, educational qualification is important because we for our assessment, we do a scoring system where depending on certain parameters, that will determine your final score. So for example, if you have a master's, by all means, let us know you have a master's. But if you do not have formal education, by all means, that is not, still let us know because it is not a deterrent. It's just that, like I said, it's a scoring system. We look at different things. We look at the sector where your business is playing. We look at the number of employees that you have. We look at the potential of your business to employ more people. Remember that as an agency of government, our mandate is really to create jobs. So we also need your national ID card, like I mentioned earlier, because that is what validates that you are a resident of Lagos State. One question people ask sometimes is, for example, my business or my factory is outside Lagos, but my market is in Lagos. Can I apply? Definitely you can. Insofar as you have a national ID, which shows that you're a resident of Lagos State, definitely you can apply. But that also means that you also have to pay tax in Lagos. So it doesn't matter if your farm or your factory is outside Lagos, but if you have business presence in Lagos, it's important that you note that in your application. Now, for loans, we have what we call micro enterprise. For micro enterprise, you need your business turnover on a monthly basis to be at least 20,000 naira. But for micro enterprise, the maximum amount you can apply for is 500,000 naira for the full 1 year. For the SME category, which is the small medium enterprise, apologies, the 1,000 is missing. It's actually 500,000 naira business turnover on a monthly basis. That is what we expect your business to be able to do. This is turnover, not profit. So in terms of your revenue, your inflows, and the rest, we want to see that you can actually, you have the capacity to pay back, because for the SME loans, it's any amount above 500,000 naira to a maximum of 5 million naira. We would want to see your business expenses, because that way we can then say, this is what your savings should be like. The way we calculate savings for when you fill the form is a bit different. It's actually not the money you have stored in the bank, but it's really your turnover minus your expenses. We found out that some people do not understand what that means. So which is why it's important that I let us know today in this class that for us, your savings has to do with, if, for example, your turnover on a monthly basis is 200,000 naira and your expenses is 100,000 naira, we take it that your savings is 100,000 naira on a monthly basis, and with that, you can then calculate how much loan you can access. We also want to know your projections. It's important. You're in business to make money. We expect that your business, you want the loan to either expand or to buy equipment, which of course will still ultimately lead to expansion. Other information we would require would include the number of employees that you have, both full-time and contracts. Business overview, which we expect to be detailed, but not irrelevant information. Basically, bullet points telling us what your business is about, how much turnover, which we already know, how long it has been in existence, things like that. And these amounts are not cast in stone. So you may apply for a 5 million naira loan, but from our assessment, we may find that truly what you need, at least in the first instance, may not be 5 million naira. Then one other thing that is very important to note, and please, it's very important, is the sector and the subsector your business plays in, because there are different assessment criteria depending on the sector. Some sectors are more high risk than others. So if, for example, your business, or you're in a line of business that you are not quite sure whether it is, for example, food processing or whether it is agriculture, you can always reach out to us to guide you. I'll be sharing our contact details later on as we go along. It's also very important that you give us a valid government issued ID, because again, we have your LASRA, yes, but we need to have either your voter's card, which is acceptable, your national identity card, or your international passport or driver's license. All of these, we expect that you'd upload. I'll also take us through what the portal looks like. Another thing that is very important, like I said earlier on, in terms of guarantor requirements, it's very important because at LSETF, we do not rely on collateral in terms of fixed assets. So your guarantors, quote unquote, are sort of your collateral. So we want them to be people who have the financial means, so that if for any reason you are defaulting on your payments, we can reach out to them to find out what the issue is and we can take it from there. There's an equity contribution that is expected from you, which I would also talk about, and good enough, there's an LSETFW initiative beneficiary who will be sharing her experience later on. So we can also later on talk about some of these things that I've talked about here. So your guarantor requirements are very important. We expect them to have LRS tax identification because, again, part of our funds come from taxpayers. So it's important that those who are benefiting are also taxpayers. We would also need their bank verification number because we are going to carry out a credit appraisal on them. This is usually done by our fulfillment partners. Again, they will be giving us guarantee, either personal or corporate guarantee. That's very important. We expect that the guarantors are people of good financial means, depending on the value of the loan. They don't have to tell us all of their assets, but it's important that they show capacity to pay back if there is need to. So they can be salary earners, they can be business owners. We expect that they would have clean credit records and that they have excess, like I said, of the amount that you are asking for. Assets doesn't have to be physical, it could be monetary. And it doesn't have to be cash in the bank. I believe
there's something
more around that. Okay, so this just gives you a snapshot of our access to finance programs. We do a lot more than this at LSETF, but for the purpose of today's masterclass, the focus is on access to finance. Other things we do which are not listed here include employability, where we help train. We also run capacity building interventions. We also have a workspace voucher program for those who need co-working spaces to work out of. So our flagship program is the generic loan. I'll talk more about that, but I wanted to just give us this snapshot first, just so that you will know the programs that are available currently. We have the LEAP tourism. For the LEAP tourism, it is specific to those in the entertainment, hospitality, tourism sectors. We have the W initiative, which later on I'll speak more about. The W initiative is a matching fund program in partnership with Access Bank. So we quickly realized that we didn't have so much funds. And for us to be able to create the sort of impact we wanted to create, it was important that we look out for partners who shared our vision and could help us stretch the little money, the little funds we had available. So Access Bank has been our partner since the year 2020. And since then, we've disbursed a good number of loans. We are happy because the partnership is continuing and we are recording more progress and successes as the days goes by. We have the first Edu loan, which is for the education sector. That is in partnership with First Bank. We have the EdFin Edu loan, which is in partnership with EdFin Microfinance Bank. Now, the 5 I've mentioned thus far are loan programs. For today, I wanted to focus on W Initiative and Lagos Cares because of time and because I'm mindful of information overload. But during the Q&A session, if you want me to go into more detail on the generic, the LEAP tourism, the first Edu, the EdFin, I'll be more than happy to. depending on how much time we have available. So please pardon me to focus on W Initiative and Lagos Cares. Lagos Cares is the grant, which I think is very important for us all to know. Now, why did I choose this two? First, I chose the W Initiative because it's for women-owned businesses. I'll speak more about that. Lagos Cares is a grant program which everybody can benefit, every business can benefit from, whether male or female. But again, there's a specific percentage that have to be women. So that has been factored in. So I thought it was important to give you more information about a loan program as well as a grant program, which is financed by the World Bank. It's a World Bank project, which LSETF is coordinating or implementing on behalf of the Lagos state government. It's a national project, actually. So without further ado, I'll just continue. This is what the portal looks like for the generic. Now, for you to start any application process with us, you have to go to the right link. We have two links. Starting off with this one. This one is for a generic loan, which is the flagship program. It's not in partnership with any other body. It is 100% LSETF. More focused at grassroots. And because of that, it is a maximum amount of 500,000 naira per annum. Now, this is what the portal, the landing page of the portal looks like. And the link is loans.lsetf.ng. Loans.lsetf.ng. Now, there's a YouTube link. To access that YouTube link, you would need to go to our main landing page, which is www.lsetf.ng. Now, that video, when you go to that page, the landing page, you would see a video which you can watch, which will give you more information, basically a step-by-step guide on how to go about the application process. But don't forget the things I had talked about earlier that you need to have available, like your BVN, your financial information generally, what you need the funds for, it's very important, what your key needs are, the staff you have, your personal information, things like that. You need to have all of those things ready. When you go to this portal, you would need to create your account. So your email address will be required. You will need to also create a password so that when next you go in, you can also go there to review your application. You can continue from wherever you stopped with that information that you have provided. So it's important that you go there to create an account. If you would not be distracted, you are not driving, you may want to look at some of these things while I'm speaking, so that we can take it from there during the Q&A. Now, if for any reason you're having challenges, feel free to come to our Liaison Offices. They are present in all the local government areas, the offices across Lagos State, as well as the local council development areas across Lagos State. We also have a call center. The number is 01-7000 969 01-7000 969. I will still at the end provide the communication channels. So remember, I said initially that the portal I showed just before this, the previous slide, was for our generic program, our flagship. It's different from the loan portal for the other programs. So the W Initiative, the LEAP Tourism, the Edu Loans, the CARES. To access that, you have to come to our main landing page first, which is the www.lsetf.ng. You would see programs. Once you click on programs, you see the first link I have there, which is the lsctf.ng/content/MSME loan program. Basically, this is like after you have clicked on loan programs, when you go to the main landing page, www.lsctf.ng. So those are the programs that you can apply for. If, for example, you have gone through this process before, or maybe from what I've said, you already sort of know how to navigate, you can go directly to apply.lsctf.ng, and you would see, like you can see on the right of my screen, you can see choose your preferred program. It's a drop down where you would have all of this: W Initiative, Leap Tourism, Edu Loans, the CARES. So you click on your preferred program. That is if you have not created an account. If you created an account, you can always continue from where you stopped. I think I've overemphasized the need to have your LRS, your LASRA, and your government issued ID. In terms of this is just giving you a summary of everything I have said thus far. You apply at loans.lsctf.ng. You submit your application, it is assessed, you get a score assigned, and an amount is recommended. Now, those who do not meet our cutoff score are declined. Those who meet it are sent for KYC. KYC is in 2 levels. We have the ones conducted by the banks, like for example, in the case of Access Bank, they conduct one pre our board approval. And we have one conducted by our business development support partners, BDSPs for short. Now, those with positive reports are progressed to the next stage. Those with negative are declined. You see that the approvals. Then we notify people who are successful at this stage to begin the pre-disbursement process. Now, they are asked to provide some hard copy documentation. Recall that before now, what you have done is to upload certain documents, but now we want some things that are more detailed. For example, we want to see your full bank statement, not a summary. We want to look at, assess your turnover as an example. We want to see some information about your guarantors. We want to see that truly you have your LASRA, things like that. These documents, you either submit them to us or you submit to our partner banks, depending on the loan program. We have different partner banks. The fulfillment bank, which is also the partner bank, will open the account for you once you fulfill all your conditions. Now, this is one place people find the most challenging, providing all of those documentation that is required, which is why it's important to start early so that you can fulfill all the conditions required. Because they would need all this information to initiate their credit appraisal process. Those with good appraisal would then have to pay their equity contribution. Now, it's typically 5%, but there are some exceptions. For example, for the W initiative, if you are going for the asset acquisition, you have to provide 10% equity contribution. So if you are going for a 5 million naira loan, 10% of that at 500,000 naira, you deposit into the account that you have created with the bank. Just to quickly point out, for the generic loan, it is automated. So because of that, you do not need to create another account or open another account with a bank. What you need to do is just to link your debit card to the portal, to the your status, what you have filled, your account, and then you take it from there. We do a direct debit on a monthly basis. We partnered with fintechs for that. I think Flutterwave and Paystack. You get your funds, and once you get your funds, we are happy, you're happy. And of course, because it is a loan, you have to repay. Repayment is on a monthly basis. But again, as with most things in life, there can be exceptions. So the exception is for the edu loans. You do not have to pay on a monthly basis because we understand the cycle for schools. And we know that funds in terms of school fees are received typically at the beginning of the term. So for the edu loans, termly is accepted for repayment. So what I've tried to do is to give you an overview of everything. I'm going into more details, but again, I would not bore you with too much information. The nano loan is a maximum of 100,000, and this applies for just our generic loan. We have the micro enterprise startup, which can across the different loan programs I shared with you earlier, whether it's the LEAP tourism, the W initiative, or whatnot. That's for the micro enterprise and the SME. For the micro enterprise startup, we have that with the W initiative, but we do not have that for the edu loans as well as the LEAP tourism, because we expect that those businesses are already in existence. But for the micro enterprise startup, you already have an idea, you haven't started the business. So it's almost like a proof of concept. So this is different. This is the generic loan program, which I had given you an overview. You see again, LRS is showing up strongly here. You see that across all of our different loan programs, LASTRA and the rest. You see it's 5% equity contribution. You need just one guarantor. And of course, we expect you to have good credits. You see that for this generic, you do not necessarily have to have a CAC registration, but it's a good thing to have CAC documentation for your business. It's very important. You achieve a lot more with that. Interest rate is at 9%. And we expect you to have your bank statements. For this, your personal bank statement is just fine. For the LEAP tourism loan program, it's like I said earlier, it's for the art, tourism, hospitality, and entertainment sectors in Lagos State. And you see the interest rate is very low at 5% because we understand and we are mindful that this sector was really hit by the pandemic, the COVID-19 that we're still battling with. So this is to help them recover. So the interest rate is at 5% per annum. We expect, again, one guarantor if the loan size is 500,000 naira and below. If it's above, it is 2 guarantors. You see there's a slight difference here. You see as we go on that for some of our loan programs, we do not require LASTRA ID for the guarantor, but for these, we need that because it is a Lagos State intervention program, and LASTRA, we want to be very sure that you are a resident, both you, the applicant, and your guarantor are residents in Lagos to be able to access this loan. It's still the same application. This is the second application portal I shared with you earlier, the apply.lsctf.ng. For loans above 500,000 naira, irrespective of the program, we expect to see your business bank statement, but this can be supported by your personal bank statements because those are SME loans. This is the first edu loan program, which is for schools. You'll see that it's at 9% per annum. The thing I would like to point out here, again, one of the exceptions to the general rules for our loans, you'd see that it's 12 months maximum for working capital loans, even if it's a 5 million naira loan you are applying for. But typically, for our loans above 500,000 naira, you can have up to 2 years to repay. But for the edu loans, it's maximum 12 months for working capital. And it's only if it's asset acquisition, you want to buy an equipment, furniture, things like that, that you can access. You can have the loan available to you for a maximum of 2 years, still the same 9% per annum, which is on a reducing balance. So the loan, the interest you pay every month, it reduces as the principal reduces. Again, we require CAC documents for loans above 500,000 naira. This is the EdFin, same principle. The key difference between the first edu and the EdFin is the school population. While for EdFin, a school with 50 pupils can apply, that would not work for the first edu. You have to have at least, as a school owner, you have to have at least 100 100 pupils to be able to apply, pupils or students if you have a secondary. Now, the one I really want to focus on for the next 5 minutes is the LSCTFW Initiative Loan Program. The LSCTFW Initiative Loan Program is the one in partnership with Access Bank. For you to benefit from this, it's expected that your business is registered with CAC because we need the business to demonstrate that it is at minimum 50% owned by a female. And if it is a business name, it can be in partnership with a male. We take it that it is 50%. If it is a limited liability, the female must have at least 50% equity in terms of the number of shares in that business. It is female owned, not female run. It's very important. Another key difference is that for equity contribution, it is 5% for the working capital loans, and it is 10% for asset acquisition. We want one guarantor is fine, but we expect that the guarantor's net worth can cover the loan size up to 150%. This you apply through apply.lsctf.ng. This is a snapshot of the Lagos CARES. I would go into more detail. So really, the Lagos CARES, what I would like to talk about the Lagos CARES is that it is a grant program. What that means is that you do not pay back, but you do not necessarily get cash if it is a credit grant. For the credit grants, what we are saying is we can help you pay back, repay a financial institution that's taking a loan from up to 40% of the loan amount. But that loan must have been taken from 1st of March last year, or rather, the latest the loan should have been taken would have been 1st of March. So loans even up to the end of last year can qualify, even up to this year, insofar as you are repaying the loan as at when due, but you can demonstrate that because you are repaying this loan, you are not able to grow your business as fast or as quickly as you would like. Now, the credit grant can give you a maximum of 1 million if you're a micro enterprise and up to 5 million if you're an SME. For us at LSCTF, in terms of our classification, micro enterprises are businesses that are not very structured, which can, for those businesses, you don't really have so much turnover, or if at all you have turnover, you are really, your business is really not very structured. You kind of mix your business with your personal funds, with your business funds. And because of that, it's difficult for us to really assess you as an SME. So again, it's very important. Structure is very important for a business. So we expect that for SMEs, you can demonstrate that you have a business account and that the loan was taken through your business account, not your personal account. For the operations grants, I will speak more to that and the IT grants on the next slide. So you see that the credit grant is a conditional capital grant. It has to be from a financial institution licensed by central bank. So family and friends, unfortunately, would not qualify for these grants. Now, for the operations grants, is really to support you with utilities or operational expenses such as paying salaries, paying rents, paying utilities such as water bill, or if you want to get alternative power supply. You cannot use your operations grants to pay your taxes or regulatory levies. For the IT enhancement grants, it's to really help your business scale up digitally, because we know that those businesses that were really hit by COVID-19 were those that did not have digital footprints. So we can support you with IT infrastructure, things like connectivity and digital technology tools, such as laptops, internet services, e-commerce listings, productivity software. We have a list. So you may have your bespoke. We may not be able to support it as of today, but we do not want that to discourage you. you can always reach out to us on our call, through our call center, so that we can talk to you and know how we can help you, how we can support you. So this gives you an overview of the documentation requirements for CARES. You need to give us details of the loan, if it's a credit grant, the outstanding amounts, of course, LASTRA and tax, and your bank statement. For operations grant, you need your rent, evidence of past receipts, current rent to be paid, the salary, if it is the salary one. So under the operations grant, you can choose whether it's rent you want to pay, whether it's salary you need the grant for, whether it's utilities. For the IT enhancement grants, you really just need to show us what tool that you want to apply for, or we can recommend depending on your business, because we would carry out an assessment, a fiscal assessment of your business, which is what we typically do for all of our different loan programs. This is the workflow for the CARES. CARES stands for COVID-19 Action Recovery Economic Stimulus. So it's just to help you during this period of, we know what we are going through, the pandemic and all that. So the applicant applies through PAMP, which is the apply.lsctf.ng, or offline in our liaison offices. There's a KYC verification that is conducted, BVN verification. Their documents submitted are verified. There's a final vetting. Now, because this is not, the process is a bit different because we are running this on behalf of the Lagos State government. So they do not approve, they meet on a quarterly basis. So the turnaround time is not really as fast as the loan programs because they meet on a quarterly basis. But they disburse the grants into the wallets through fulfillment bank, Ibile Microfinance Bank, and then you get a voucher if it is for the IT grants. If it is the credit or the operations, what you get is your wallet with Ibile Microfinance Bank is funded. One good thing we do across all our different access to all our programs is we support you post disbursements. We assess we do a post-monitoring review of your business. We get some information from you. If you're having challenges paying back, it's important you let us know on time, which is also one of the reasons why we ask for an equity contribution, because we understand that sometimes you may have challenges initially. Who knows? Because we do not give moratorium for most of our loans, except it is the micro enterprise startup. For that, you are entitled to a 1-month moratorium. And then for the LIB tourism, you have a 3-month moratorium for that. But other than that, we know that the equity contribution is just like a fail-safe, a fallback option if you have any challenge, but we don't expect you to bank on it. And the money comes back to you when you are done with your loan payments. So the money is we put a lien on the amount. So there's a hold on the amount in your account and you cannot touch it until you are done with repayment. Of course, we evaluate. And the next thing I'll be showing you, which is more or less my last slide, really, would be the communication channels. The communication channels are the websites, which I talked about, www.lsctf.ng. The social media channels, you can reach us via the different platforms at lsctf.ng. It's important you follow us so that you can get information about our programs, including the other ones I didn't talk about, like the employability, the startups and things like that. We have a call center that is manned by human beings. It's 017-969. We have an email address that I am part of. It's a group email, so I get any email that comes in here. It is called SMEuploads@lsctf.ng, and we do our best to respond within 24 hours when you send email. You can also go to our liaison offices. The liaison officers are always there to help you. If you also have challenges with LASTRA, they can help you. If you have challenges with LRS, they can guide you. In our office, we have an LRS desk because they also review numbers you put in for LRS. So it's important that you always document or you put in the right number. So I'll just share my final slide will be useful tips in terms of your application. It's important that you put in the right documentation so that everybody can see. And if you are not yet paying tax, it's important that you register. For tax payment, it's really specific to your business type, your business sector, and your business location. There's someone from LRS on the call. She's here as backup in case I cannot answer any question around the tax. But LRS is very important for you and for your staff as well as your guarantors. So these are useful tips. Your business, if it's a micro enterprise or SME, should be operational for at least 1 year before you apply. If it is, if it is for the micro enterprise or if it is the loan program. For the micro enterprise startup, we know that you just have an idea, which of course you have to validate by showing us your vocational training certificates. It's important you provide a detailed business overview. It's very important, telling us in specific terms, why do you need those funds? Is it for business expansion? Is it to acquire an asset to grow your business? Of course, we do not necessarily need you to give us too much information or history about how many years your business has been, other than just for information's sake, but no much details around your value proposition. There's opportunity for that, but just try and make it succinct. You need to give us a breakdown of the use of funds. If it is for an asset acquisition, please, it's very important. It's one of the documents the bank would ask you for. The pro forma invoice or quotation. So if you want to buy a bus or a vehicle to help your business, we want to see the invoice, we want to see the quotation. Furniture, we want to see. Things like that, it's very important. We don't expect that it has to be brand new. We understand that the funds we give at maximum 5 million is small. So it's also fine that you can add to it. However, we don't encourage the use for I would say capital projects such as trying to build from scratch, because we know that the money is small. We don't want you to get stuck along the way. We want things that we want you to be able to repay the loan from what business you are running. So we do not want you to get stuck. Now, if you want to pay salary, it's also important that you give us a salary schedule for your employees. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be Word documents. It can even be on a piece of paper typed and scanned or something. Those are some of the things we want to see. Okay, how much do you pay your staff? What are their account details? We want to see those sort of information. Again, for staff, we want to see their LRS details. We want to see that they have payee numbers. It's good that your names are correctly spelled. Just one letter can change things. It's important because if we see any discrepancy between the name on your BVN and the application, we would expect that you would give us a police report and an affidavit stating why those things are different. Some other things include notarized. So the guarantor information will be notarized. All of those things are things that would give you more information as time goes on. But if you want us to go into specific details during the Q&A, I'm more than happy to do it. So, and on a final note, please pay your tax regularly. It's important. It shows that you're a good business person. And again, some of our funds are from taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Akwede. We have gone over time, but this is very important for our participants. Thank you so much. We have a lot of questions. I don't know if we can take them all. I noticed some people were saying that this information is only for those in Lagos. Yes, it is only for those in Lagos. We have another facilitator from Access Bank that will tell us how those outside Lagos can access the funds that are available. So please hold on for that. But let me quickly go through some of these questions so that we can answer them. Kindly confirm how the tax ID can be gotten. When I was working in a corporate space, I do pay tax and have a tax card. Can I use that as I'm currently out of a job and run a small business? That you said the LIS person is here. Do you want to note down all these questions first, or you want to answer them as I'm asking?
Let me note in case there are some that are similar, can take them together.
Okay, she just wants to know if she can use the ID she used when she was working presently now, okay? Then how long can a business be in operation before applying? You've already said that that's 1 year. Can a SMEDAN certificate suffice in place of a CAC, pending when CAC registration is done, okay? Then, let me see what else. I applied for this loan until date, no response yet. What do we do? Okay. Call center number that has been shared. Please, will the slides be shared? Unfortunately, we can't do that. We're expecting you to screen grab as we go along. We can't share the presentation slides, unfortunately. Well, she has shared all the links to LFETF is there. The contact details have been shared. Can an online business partake in the loan? I recently got approval for W initiative. Can I also apply for the Lagos grant? You had mentioned assessing monthly turnover versus monthly expenses. What if the business is seasonal? Okay, I think I'm going to take one more. The last one will be, can the W initiative slide be reposted so we can note the information? Okay, please share that slide and answer the questions, Mrs. Akpede, so that we can go on to our, yes, please screen grab whichever slide you want to take note of. You have less than 5 minutes to answer those questions.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. I'll quickly, yes, good enough. I have Yinka from LRS here. Can you quickly unmute and answer the question?
Hi, everyone. My name is Adeyinka. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, there was a question. I work with the Lagos Internal Revenue Service, and there's a question about a lady asking ID as the one she has presently from an old job. Yes, you can. However, you're supposed to have your tax payments up to date. But yes, that tax ID is very valid. You can use it to apply for your loans. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you very much. So let me use 2 minutes to, thank you very much, Inka. So let me use 2 minutes to answer the remaining questions. So SMEDAN unfortunately does not replace CAC, but I know CAC these days doesn't take so long. And again, remember CAC is for loans above 500,000 Naira. So if you're in a hurry, you don't want to wait for your CAC, why don't you start off with the 500,000 Naira loan? And then when you finish repaying that, you can then, and you can repay early on, like before the expiration of the loan. For seasonal business, unfortunately, the way we are structured, our system is designed to, debit or deduct the interest, or rather to credit you on a monthly basis. And we also expect you to repay, we expect you to repay on a monthly basis. So we're not really designed for seasonal business, unfortunately, but very good. You've mentioned this is something I'll take back to the office. We'll see how we can design something for seasonal businesses. Maybe what I can advise you, but this is just me thinking out loud. Maybe what you can do, since you know your business is seasonal, you can apply around the time when you know you would have good cash flow, and you can decide to pay back within a shorter period as against waiting for a 1 year. That may work for you. I think that's about it. Those were really the 2 main things that I think concern me apart from the tax. Ms. Salami, kindly confirm.
Thank you very much. Can you share the contact page again for just about 30 seconds so those that can?
Okay, all right. So I remember the question about the Lagos Cares. Yes, you can apply for Lagos Cares even though you got approved for the loan. And yes, I'm happy we have a beneficiary in the house. Yes, you can apply for the grant. It's different from the loan program.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, next we have someone that has applied for the loan from LFETF, and she's going to share experience with us. You know, Mrs. Akpede has told us so much about this loan. And, you know, some of us can be so skeptical about it. We doubt a lot. And we want to know those, hear from somebody that has taken this loan before. She's going to share with us how she applied, when she got it, and you know, tips some of us can pick from when we are applying for our own loan. So please welcome Uko Oka. She's the Executive Director of Resource Space, and she has about 10 minutes to share our experience with us in accessing this loan from LFTF. Thank you so much and welcome, Mrs. Oka. Unmute yourself, please. Thank you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Do you want to leave and come? Yeah. Please let's give her a few seconds to sign out and sign back in. Thank you. Okay, I think she's having some challenges. So that we will not waste your time, I want to quickly move to Access Bank. And when she comes back in, she'll probably give us her testimonial afterwards. Let me welcome, please, could you share Access Bank profile, please? Let's share. Can you share the profile, Olamide? Thank you very much. Let me quickly read that. Bingpe G. Forgive me, I don't mean to pronounce your name if I miss the pronunciation. He's a seasoned finance professional with over 17 years experience in the banking industry. She's also a women economic empowerment champion who is passionate about connecting the dots for women entrepreneurs and professionals to attain global relevance. Currently managing Access Bank Women Market Program, the W initiative. Bingpe oversees the team. She also supports women sub-segments in Nigeria and key African markets in Ghana, Rwanda, Zambia, Gambia, and Sierra Leone through the Women's Market Program. The initiative won several local and international awards, including a 3-year consecutive Central Bank's Award for Excellence in Women Economic Empowerment. As an AFSTI relationship management professional, IFC certified trainer and strategist with a record of sustaining and building impactful relationships and partnerships, BIMPE has worked with private and public sector organizations to develop their social position and identify opportunities for women to scale up in their chosen business and career path. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please type in your questions. She's going to cover Lagos and also cover businesses outside Lagos. And also she's going to tell us about funds that are also more than 5 million. Because some of us, that 5 million is just us starting the business. That 5 million cannot even scratch what's the problem that is on ground. We want 10, 20, 50 million. So she's going to tell us how we can access that money, what we need, and what more aspects can be of all around Nigeria. She's passionate about women, and I know that there are some men among us here. So you can also apply for it. If you have joined us here, it means that you can participate, and BIMPE is going to answer all your questions. She has about 30 minutes to speak with us, then the next 15 minutes will be to answer all your questions. So please, screen grab everything she's going to put here that you want to recall, because we will not be able to email it to you. Please welcome BIMPE. Thank you so much for joining us. Unmute yourself, madam. Unmute.
Okay, thank you so much, Saadat. Thank you for the introduction. Can you see my screen? Please, can you see my screen?
No, we can't.
Okay.
Not yet. We can't see your screen yet.
Okay, just 1 second, please. Now, can you see it now?
We can. Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. So today I'll be speaking. This one. So I'll be speaking on the SME market and also giving you some tips, what is very essential to SMEs, and also telling you a product that's meant for you, bespoke for you, especially if you want anything above 5 million, as Ibade has said. First of all, this is my outline, but let's take an overview of the SME market. Do we feel SMEs are important? Are you a big deal? Because we find out in this part of this world, we don't really celebrate ourselves so well, and we do a lot. Because SMEs contribute 90% of the businesses in Nigeria. 90% of Nigerian businesses are SMEs, and you contribute over 84% of employment you employ. So you are really a big deal. So you are the heart of job creation. And you account for a lot. You account for the employment, you account for the economic growth, the GDP, even the export growth. You are so important that statistics says by 2030, Nigeria will be needing about 600 million jobs. How do we cover that? But it's coming from you. Of course, we know the financing gap for SMEs, not to talk of female SMEs, is enormous. But still, everybody is a plug. Everybody is a plug. Before the COVID, the gap was about 1 trillion. But when the pandemic came and hit us, and of course, we're still in need, but at least it's now part and parcel of our lives. It's now about 4.5 trillion. Can you imagine $4.5 trillion? Can you imagine the great hole that is needed to be filled up for us, everybody to have a full potential? But you know, as I said, everybody is a plug. For women SMEs, our financing gap is about 32% of that. So we are all important. It's It's key that we pay attention and look at it and see what it sees. Because, of course, there are various business stages in life. And then we take it step by step. But we also have to be aware that there are challenges. A lot of challenges cause to SMEs, and it's very, very important to pay attention. We know what the challenges are and how to go about it. Of course, we have lack of skillful manpower. You need employees, you don't want to employ, but sometimes lack of manpower, lack the skillful manpower is there. You can have manpower, but you need skillful manpower. High cost of doing business in this part of the world. You know, you have to fuel the generator, you have to pay PHCN, you have to pay your water bill. It's for SME, that is a lot. So high cost of doing business, the fear of failing, that is every SME has that challenge, because you look at it, you put a product forward, you have the fear that what if this does not sell, what if this does not move, what if the market take a decision and say, okay, I don't want this product, or you've invested so much, or you import something and then at the ending, you know, things just change, customers' needs, customers' demand just changes. So we have that. Especially female SMEs, trying to balance the business life and our family life. It is really a challenge, because you look at it, right now schools have resumed. So you have to school drop in the morning to go to businesses. Of course, maybe when the market is in full play, you now remember that you need to go and pick up the kids from the school. You know, so it's really a challenge. Then, of course, the social expectations. You know, they expect SMEs to be there. You know, a lot of challenges. Well, we should not be mindful of that. But it is very important for you to know how to position yourself, how to position your business for the solution. There will always be problems. Problems will live with us. You know, the Bible says in this world, you must carry your cross. So how do you carry this cross when it comes to your business? Of course, you know how to carry it in your personal life, but your business, remember, your business is your face. You are the face for your business. So, of course, you have to I classify it into internal solutions and external solutions. Internal solution, you need to go for a lot of capacity training. This is also a training. It's for your benefit. Financial education, you need to know financial education, what to fit what. A lot of us go through mismatch. It is very peculiar with SMEs. We take a short-term loan for a long-term project. It will affect us. Mentoring programs, it is very, very essential. We have a mentor. Somebody will look up to say, okay, advise me. You've been through this phase. You've initiated a business, you've grown it, you scale it up. You are now a force to be reckoned with. Mentor me through that process. Everybody needs a mentor. It's not mentorship. It's not just for career, not for the 9-to-5ers, but everybody, even businesses, we need a mentor. Somebody that's gone through it. Somebody in your own field that's gone through the various stages in your field. That's okay. Mentor me, guide me. How do I do this? What do I do next? What do I get? How do I get my products? How do I get raw materials? How do I get things cheaper? You know, sometimes even you can come together and say, okay, I don't want to be going here because the cost of transport is on me. Why don't I give my mentor to help me? We need mentors. External, flexible lending security. There are a lot of financing options. There are a lot of grants. If you see grants, you pick it up. If you can't get a grant, you can do your savings. You can use your savings to start your businesses. You can also do crowd pooling, ask friends and family, gather them together, and then pitch your business ideas. It's very important. Cheap financing, those are cheap financing that you can gather, maybe your school, your university friends, gather together, not just who are going for a drink out, we're going for dinner. Gather them together, sit them down at the table, and then pitch your business ideas. You may not get everybody, but I can guarantee you that 40%, a minimum of 40% will buy into your business. Then, of course, we have what we call specialized funding, fundings that are specific, bespoke to those sectors. It could be green cultivations. It could be for recycling, because the world is going recycling, and so there are some bespoke funding for some sectors. So let me speak to the funding opportunities. Just as I said, self-funding, also called bootstrapping. That's when you leverage on your own savings, on your own, when you support your business. It is advisable when you're going to start a business, you start with your friends and well-wishers that contribute, your savings, your investment, right? You have full control of your business. Nobody is hammering of you if you fail the first few months, or if you don't sell any products. Once you start a business, for 1 month, you've not sold a product. But nobody is on you telling you that, okay, please pay back my funds, give me back my funds. Remember, it's for your friends and well-wishers. It's from your own savings. It's very important that when you're starting a business, you start on a level ground. Don't put yourself on any tremendous pressure. Fund it yourself so you can grow gradually. Organic growth it's great. You can never beat that organic growth. Nobody's putting you on pressure to say, give me back my funds, you have to pay interest, so you struggle to pay interest this month, you struggle to pay the principal. No. Then there's another thing we call crowdfunding. Just as I say, you gather people together, people with like minds, and then you pitch your business ideas. It could be to your secondary school mates. So all this reunion that we tend to go to, make it a useful opportunity for you to pitch your business ideas. Then we have the capital venture. These are people that we invest into your business, will give you funds to at least scale up your business on the premise that they also have a little control over your business. And of course, we have the business loan. Also, we can also splash it with the venture debits that also business loan for longer term, longer projects, like you want to buy infrastructure upgrade, you want to do a business expansion. It is very important to note to get a short-term loan for a short-term project and a long-term loan for a long-term project. SMEs tend to mismatch it, and this is a very, very problematic thing, because you take a working capital facility to buy a property. Working capital is 12 months, and that property you can pay back for 10 months. You put yourself on tremendous pressure to pay a loan that can take you 10 years in 1 year. So funding opportunities are available to address business challenges and mainly to decide which stages of business are you on. It is very essential. Stage 1, the ideal stage. You are creating your product. You are looking at it. Okay, yes, you are developing the concept. You are developing your business plan. This is how you want it. This is how you want your shop. This is the ideal stage. For this stage, it is preferable that you fund yourself. As I said earlier, fund it yourself. You could use friends and family, friends and well-wishers, your savings, whatever maybe you had a 9-to-5 job, all your savings, or you are still working, your savings, you can be saving gradually for this. It's very essential. Stage 2 is the prestige stage. At this stage, you are trying to do your value proposition, you are testing the market, you are validating the market. Now you have opened your shop, you are now looking at it. Yes, you're selling, you are now knowing, oh, this is my customer. Yalagbaja is my customer. Babalagbaja is my customer. Yes, you're at that stage. Stage 3 is the seed stage. Here you are looking to develop. You are looking bigger, you are acquiring customers, you are gaining market traction. So people know you for this product. People know you as a fashion designer, that they can go and get bespoke outfits, So they know you for that. So you are creating a niche in that market. In the stage 4, that's the early stage. Here you want to scale up. You are earning revenue. You've been in business for a year right now, and you're earning revenue. So you're not thinking of, I want to have another shop. I started in maybe on the island. Now I want to have a store on the mainland. Yes, this is stage 4. That's the early stage. And of course, the 5th stage, that is you are grown, you are now complex, you are now looking forward to say, okay, you want to add new infrastructure, you want to now have like a warehouse, and you want to say that whatever you're bringing into the country, you first post it into your warehouse. That is the stage you are. And of course, there are different financial options. I've mentioned it, but let me just go through it so that it give you more understanding. Just as I said, the ideal stage, it is essential. I will always reiterate this, that you self-fund yourself. It is very, very important. Do not put yourself under any tremendous pressure.
fund yourself. You can fund through your family. Family will always be there. Friends will always be there. Crowdfunding, you can pitch to your friends, your schoolmates, secondary schoolmate, primary schoolmate, university schoolmate, even your master's classmates. You can pitch to them. Use that as an idea to say, I'm coming up with this. I need funds to start this. I need funds. People will buy into it. The pre-stage, that's the second stage. You can now look at it. You can also fund yourself, still the same family and friends, still the same crowd pooling. You can also have the option to say grants. Just as Ibade said, grants are something that they give, you don't have to pay back. But how many grants are available? So if you see grants, not a problem. We have what we call the incubator or the accelerators. These are people that will assist you in growing. They will give you not only finance, they also give you capacity training to look at it. So they give you grants, they give you a financial literacy, financial education. They also give you capacity training. So we call that an incubator and an accelerator. And at the end, they can also give you little funds to also assist you. We have a third stage, which is called the seed stage. Here you've acquired the markets, you've acquired the customers, you are gaining market share, but of course you want to grow. So where can you also get your finance from? There you can start looking for loans, you can start looking for capital ventures, you can be looking for angel investors. Who's an angel investor? Somebody that just wants to invest in your business. It does not require anything. It does not require saying I want to share, I want to take a control, I want to take shares in your control. No, but you just want to invest, looking at it to say, want to be part of the success stories, to saying that I met this woman when she was at this stage, now she's at this stage. So those are what we call the angel investors. The early stage, there you want to scale up your business operations. So you can, of course, you can look for fundings, angel investors, you can look for bank loan and capital, venture capital. Those are investments that will give you, but also take a share allotment from your company, saying you also want to have a little bit of control out of the country. If you don't mind having losing control of your business, saying that, okay, you won't own it 100%, you can give out 40%. Yes, that funding opportunity is there for you. And of course, when you are grown, you want to have infrastructure, which is the fifth stage, the growth stage. Here, you are building up, you want to now go into full infrastructure upgrade. Yes, you can use the capital venture, and of course, you can use the venture debt, which is long-term financing for infrastructure upgrade, for all this, your mortgages and everything. So those are debt-based. You could take a loan with a longer tenure to assist you on that. So we come to tax and levies. And tax and levies are something SMEs run away. But it is very, very crucial, because especially for limited liabilities, because it is part of regulatory that you must pay taxes. And also, if you come for a financial institution to say you want to take a facility, when about to disburse, they will ask you for these taxes. And the irony is that even if you've not paid, you have to pay. You have to update your tax and levies. You have to update it. So there are different bodies that take taxes. We are aware of that. So we have the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and also the states. So every state has their own internal revenue service, and they collect different taxes. The FIRS, they collect the company tax, the personal income tax, the value added tax that's giving us issues right now, especially that state governments are contesting right now. We have the petroleum profit tax, we have the capital gain tax, while the state also administer personal income tax for the employees in their states. So limited liabilities, you are meant to pay your company income tax, education tax, the value added tax that we call VAT, withholding tax for vendors and customers, capital gains, and of course your personal income tax. Businesses, that's business name, that's if you're a sole man proprietor, venture, and enterprise, you're also meant to pay tax. We all believe that so far I'm not limited, I'm exempted. Nobody's exempted from tax. That is how the taxes are meant for federal government to also do infrastructure upgrade, do some amenities that are meant to be provided by the federal government. Without this, they cannot provide it for us. And that's why sometimes the cost of doing business is high in this part of the world, because we always run shy of paying our taxes. It's very important. Business names, you are meant to pay tax. you're meant to pay your VAT, withholding tax for vendors and customers, capital gains tax, and of course, your personal income tax. Cooperatives also, you're meant to pay VAT, withholding tax on vendors and customers, capital gains, and of course, your personal income tax. Then partnership, the same thing. And with the new law that came into being last year, it gave us more clarity and saying, okay, there were a lot of loopholes, and then saying if your company earns less than 25 million turnover or does less than 25 million turnover annually, then you are exempted for company tax. So small companies, SMEs, that does a turnover of less than 25 million, you are not meant to pay any tax. You're not going to pay your income tax, but your VAT, you are meant to pay VAT. Everybody is meant to pay VAT when you do those kind of services. But if you're a medium company, that means your turnover is more than 25 million, but less than 100, you are meant to pay 20% income tax. And if you're a large company, that means your turnover is over 100 million, you're meant to pay 30% income tax. And we know that VAT was increased from 5% last year to 7%. That everybody is meant to pay value-added tax. Corporate governance. This is very, very important. I didn't feel to put it here because it is important. And a lot of us believe that corporate governance is just for corporate entities, but it's very essential. It just simply a principle of rules, practice, and processes that shows how a company is going to be governed and managed. It encompasses everybody. It takes the interest of both the stakeholders, the owners of the business, customers, suppliers, financial, the government, the community, everybody. Corporate governance is very important because it is based on 4 hinges: accountability, transparency, fairness, and responsibility. What are the benefits? It helps us to reduce waste. It gives us in a bright light. You can imagine, which company can we pick? Financial institution, you can say, okay, corporate governance, what has Shell done to me? Will you look at it? What has Shell? It is transparent, it is doing, it is accountability. That means whatever information you need, the board will give it to you. Fairness, everybody is treated in fairness, responsible. They are responsible whenever a decision is taken and to affect the people adversely, they step in and say, okay, yes, I have wronged in this. I will make amends. That is what we call corporate social responsibility. It gives you in a good light. It gives investors confidence to say, I want to invest. Because you cannot put your money into a company that you know that when it comes to corporate governance, they're not it. You can't trust them. It builds trust. If I'm coming to invest in a company right now, I'll look at it. How is their governance policies? Do they have one? If they have one, are they sticking to it? Are they living by it? It's very, very essential that everybody have one, irrespective of, yes, it is mainly for corporate bodies, but even enterprise and limited liabilities and ventures, you're also part of it, because today you are here, tomorrow you say you want to be limited. You also have to imbibe all these principles to say that, yes, it's the way, it shows you the way the firm wants to be, want to go, how you want to be directed, how you want to govern, how you want to be controlled, how you want to move the interest. Remember, corporate governance captures all interest stakeholders, both owners, customers, managers of the company, staff of the company, the community. It's how you respond. You have a lot of response. How you respond to your social goals, to your economic goals, to the goals of the company. Everything must align. So this brings me to the W Initiative. As I told you, I work out from the W Initiative, and W Initiative is the home of everything Access Bank has to offer women. We started this journey in 2006, where we introduced the Yes, please.
I'm sorry to cut you
off.
Yes, we have very few minutes to go.
How many more minutes? Oh, fast.
Yeah, okay. You've actually filled up with question time for you right now, and I would like you to use the next 5 minutes to talk about the loans available and the contact details for anybody that wants to access. And if you can quickly just let us know the loans and how to apply for it and the contact details.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. I heard you.
Yeah,
so I'll go straight.
Unfortunately,
okay.
You are not
Our approach. Okay, not a problem. Our approach, we looked at our approach that where do women play in the WM family, the women in business, and of course the young professional. We also look at clusters. We do clustering to say where can we find typical women, faith-based, women association, healthcare, education. But let me go straight now to the loan package that we have. We have a bespoke loan package is at a discounted interest rate of 15% for women in business. It's our own way of saying
I said, go and check those
clothes outside. Please unmute yourself.
We can't hear you again. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Okay, so we look, what are the benefits of the W Power loan? We made it having a seamless repayment plan, a relaxed collateral, and of course a discounted interest rate of 15% per annum, which is about 1.25 monthly. We looked at it and said it's for women in business. You must have a minimum of 50%. We know that not a lot of businesses can own their businesses 100%. We still need the support of the male counterpart. So we recognize that, or at least you must own a minimum of 50%. You must at least do, if you don't own 50% female ownership, you must run a business and must have a shareholding of minimum of 20%. Or you have you as a woman is sitting on the board as a CEO or the COO. So you must be in operation for a minimum of 1 year. You can collect between 1 million to 100 million. Yes, between 1 million to, if you just started up, but you must be in business for a minimum of 1 year. So you can collect between 1 million and 100 million. And then if a working capital is 12 months, and if you want to buy assets, we can spread your payment for 36 months. That's 3 years. For working capital, you don't have to do any equity contribution, but for assets, you just have to do 20%. And you can also use the asset itself to also stand as a collateral for it. Of course, we look at, it's very important to know that we'll look at your capacity, we look at your businesses. It doesn't matter if you have not banked with Access Bank. If you bring a statement of the other bank, yes, we will also use that to profile you for the loan. Remember, as I said, it is a flexible collateral. So for 1 million to 10 million, you just need to give us a credible guarantor to say, I know this woman and I can vouch for her. This is my own net worth statement, and it will suffice. But there are some cases of people that we've noticed that also find it very difficult to get people like that. You're independent, you don't want to share so much of your business outside. Which is okay, which is all right. We have what we call the cash flow methodology. That means giving you this loan based on the cash flow that your business originates. We go in with your store, we sit down with you, check your books, check your daily stores, check your sales, what are your receivables, we look at everything and create a balance sheet for you, create a profit and loss for you, and then we'll tell you how much your business can take, and then we give it to you. So of course the business was registered, we look at your credit history, we check out your bookkeeping, and then of course flexible collateral. So you can collect between 1 to 4 million using your cash flow, and we're going to take up to 5 plus. Maximum amount of cash flow loans are 5 million. Above 4 million, you just look at it and say, okay, what can I support it with? Can I have maybe your generator that's to 2 years, whatever fixed asset that you can use just to support the 5 million. So it's very easy. It's a minimum of 1 million to 5 million, also a maximum of 12 months. And if you're looking for assets at a 6, it's still, of course, at a discounted interest rate of 15%, is open to both existing and new customers. So finally, tips. If you want to retain control of your business, don't have enough funds to start, consider a small business loan. Registering your business, running your business account, having a business plan, and maintaining good financial records will increase your chances of securing a loan. It is very important. Creating a credit history that I took a loan last year, I pay back. I took it upper year, I pay back. It helps you for any other loans you are taking irrespective of the financial institution. It will cause everybody go back to your credit history to say what type of creditor is this business owner? Is she a good credit person? Does she pay a repayment at due time? So all those things, whatever we do along those lines or those days that will take a loan, it also, our credit history also captures it. These tools will give you an idea of how much you need to be asked, and how it also helps bank to know if they are making the right choice in giving you a loan. It's very important, but whatever you do with any loan, always ensure that you pay back at appropriate time. If there's any case that you could quickly get in touch with your bank and say, I have this challenge, I have this, I need 2 or 3 months for to move the payments, and then from there I kickstart it. It saves you that stress. It saves you a lot when you finish paying that loan, and then 2 years along the line you say you want to take another loan. Your credit history is already showing. Right now, the board is moving. We are moving to credit scoring. So it's very essential that we know these tips and also abide by it. Remember, never default on your repayment. Thank you. Question and answers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Can you share contact details? Someone is asking.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. For anybody that wants to take the loan, please, the email is WCARES, one word, WCARES, WCARES at accessbankplc.com. It is simple. I'm in that mail group also. I will see your request. We'll call and engage you, and we'll commence the relationship and the application straightforward. WCARES, that's the women, CARES, WCARES, one word, at accessbankplc.com. We also have a community where we call the W community. Here we have share a lot of things that we're doing, because of course we have capacity trainings, we have grants, we have events, we do a lot. So you can also join our community. That's the wcommunity.com. You can join us, be there, irrespective. You don't have an account with us, we don't care. We just share. We are just so gender, we're not gender biased. So men, feel free to join. You can never be too sure what opportunities can come that you could take up for your wife, for your sister, for your mom, even sometimes for yourselves. We do some things that we can say, okay, let's remember the male gender, even if they didn't remember us during their own era, but let's remember them. So the sky is the limit, so we're open to all. But for the loan application, sending your application through or your request and your, with your details to is an email, WCARES, one word, at accessbankplc.com.
It is in the chat box. Please go to the chat box and look and see the email address. Thank you so much, Ms. Bimpe. Let me quickly go through some of the questions here. To get Lagos resident card, we don't have too many questions. They want the contact details, which you have already done. I mean, a business which has not started operation. Is there a loan category for asset acquisition for startup businesses? Is there a loan category
for startup? No, we don't. Our startup must have been in operation for 1 year. It's very essential. That's why that's why I reiterated times without number to say, if you're going to start up a business, it's better to put yourself without stress. Don't put yourself on undue pressure. Start with friends and well-wishers. Start with your family. Start with your savings. After 1 year, because sometimes you could start a business and after 1 year you could look at it and say, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do another one. But if you have taken a loan, you are there. You're there. The LSTF's W initiative is there. We do startup. We do from 50,000 to 250. But for W Power, we don't do startup. Our startup must have been 1 year.
Your advice is for everybody here.
My advice for startup is that if you're going to start up a business, start with your savings, with your investment, with your friends and well-wishers. But if you don't have, but you need to have that fund, then start with the LSFW that gives you between 50 to 250 for that to start up your business.
Okay, that is for those in Lagos. Those in Lagos, okay?
Yes, for those in Lagos. Yes, for those in Lagos.
There's a question here. If business has been registered as a business name and haven't started really doing business, what are the tax implications? Are there tax implications for that? You have not started business. Please, can you quickly answer that?
There's no tax to pay. Even if you have started business, if your turnover is still less than 25 million annually, that means you're still doing less than 2 million. There's no tax to pay. It is clear now. There's no tax.
Okay. Okay. So that's all we can take for now. Can you check the details in the chat room for other information? The website address for the W community.
Okay.
So please check that. And I think this is all over Nigeria. Yes. This
Yes, it's all over Nigeria.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all over Nigeria, all over the federation.
Send an email. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's no need for any phone number. I think the email will be okay so that you don't bombard you with too much of information. Then I think
if you need to call, we also have. Sorry, just 1 second. If you need to call, we also have a contact center that you can also call in to register your inquiries and send it to us. That's 01271 3005. That's 271 3005.
Okay, someone will type that in the chat room now so we can all copy it down so we can take something away from here. Thank you so much for your time today, Bimpe. I think Uko is now here so that she can share with us a testimonial for 5 minutes. I don't want to keep anybody here longer than 5 o'clock that we promised, because I know we're all very, very busy businessmen and women, and we have so much to go back to. Please, can you unmute yourself and let us share your story with us in a few minutes? Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Is it me? Or can you all hear her?
No, tell her to turn off her video. We've seen her face.
Okay. Please, can you turn off your video? Uko? Time is not our friend right now. Unfortunately, we have to let her go. Unfortunately, we have to.
Saudat, you're muted.
I can't hear you.
You are muted.
Sorry. Okay, so we have to let her go. I just want to quickly share something with you. My business e-shop could benefited from LSCTF, and it wasn't a seamless process, but it was. I didn't have to know anybody there. We filled the form, we did everything she said they told us to do, and we got the loan. You know, of course, at some point I was confused about the questions, but when I called in and they explained it to me, you know, we answered the questions, we got our guarantor, and you know, we got it. It took about 3 or 4 months. So yes, it's something that we should all apply for if we're running a business. Then the grants for the CARES, please apply for it. You need it for your salary if you have, because of the COVID that affected all of us. For your salary, for your working capital, for software applications, and all those things for your business. It's a grant, it's a business grant, and you are running a business. And I think that the LSCTF, they've been around for about 5 years, and I know quite a number of people that have applied for this loan and they've got the loan. It's not everybody that gets it, because we always have issues of your name. You know, if my name is Saudat O Salami. If in any of my documentation they see O Saudat Salami, I'm going to have an issue. So there's always problems with that, with people, that a lot of the documents they submit is not, the names are not the same, at least the sequence of the names are not the same. Then of course, your bank details, your bank statement, there's always an issue with your bank statement, or maybe you don't have enough, your bank statement is showing that you are turning over maybe 100,000 or 500,000 a month, and yet you're applying for a 5 million loan. You know, so those are just some of the things that I know some of my friends that have got the loan went through. But by and large, I think it's something we should all try and do, and don't access it just when you need the money, because it takes a while. Access it a few months, you know, because we all plan for our business. So once you're in the planning stage of your business, apply for the loan. By the time the loan has been approved, then you need the money. So it's not when you are desperate that you should. Sorry, those of you that need the money for December, please start applying now. I want to go through some housekeeping before I turn it over to our chair to close for the day. There's an evaluation link that will be put in the chat box. Please kindly fill the survey now for this program that we're having, so that we can do more for the community. We want to be able to do more but we need you to evaluate this to know if what we have brought to you is useful to you and what more we can do next time. There's a Winboard Institute training that will be holding next week, Tuesday, on September 21st. Check your boxes. It's team, talent, people, diversity in uncertain times. We need these are really uncertain times. Please check your email and register for this so that we can have a full house like we have today. Registration of membership for WIMBIZ is on right now. We need you not just to attend our programs, we also need you to be part of us fully, be an associate of WIMBIZ, because there's so many other benefits in being a WIMBIZ associate, not just coming here for our program, which we love you to come for our programs, but we also want you to benefit in the network, benefit in all the other things WIMBIZ will link you to because you are a member of. And then, of course, we need your skills in our midst. We need to, not for you to just come and take from us, we also want to take from you. We want you to share your knowledge, your network. We want you to share and also make us better and bigger. Share with your friends, you know. Then come November 4th and 5th, the flat hour WIMBIZ conference. Our conference, this is the conference like the whole of Africa, the whole of the world look forward to every single year. You have to be there. We're 20 this year. So please sign up for our WIMBIZ annual conference, the 20th annual conference. The link is going to be in the chat room. And if you get our newsletter, you're going to see it in your email, you're going to see in your SMS. Please click, share with your friends. We want it to be a very big conference this year because we're 20 years of working with business women, women in politics, women in management, women in business. We want to come together with our nice dresses, you know, and just come and have fun, you know, at our annual conference. You know, it's not, we just don't do business, we party hard. So we want you to be there, and it's 20, you know, so. Yes, and our social media platform. We need you to follow us on our social media platform. We're going to check the chat box. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on WIMBIZ, Instagram, on YouTube, LinkedIn. We are everywhere a woman is. We just want you to, you know, to not only on this platform, we want to connect with you on all our platforms. So please follow us on those platforms, share your experiences with us on those platforms, and connect with us on those platforms. Thank you so much for sharing 2 hours with us at the end of today. We wish you success, and I'll hand it now over to our very own chair to give us the closing remark.
Wow. First of all, can I just say, Saudat, with that introduction, I'm under pressure. But can I just say thank you to our presenters today. You know, we had a Google form a few weeks ago. Some of you may have seen that. And the interest, the feedback coming from our entrepreneurs was intense. I mean, we've always understood that entrepreneurs, you know, there's so many external challenges that are affecting businesses. We've always known that access to finance was a critical one that we want to address. But even the responses and the communication and the feedback we've gotten through the engagement in the chat box has been amazing. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to our presenters, to LSETF, to Access Bank, W Initiative, WIMCAP, Historian, I'm sorry, and Ibade.
Perfect.
Thank you, and Ibade. I want to say a big thank you to Saudat, our energizer bunny of the committee. I want to say thank you to Ikwo Oka. I'm really sorry that your internet connection was bad. Ikwo has had a wonderful sort of story and feedback to share. And obviously, I'm sure that with time, people that know her will get to hear about this. I mean, in my work as an advisor in financial advisory, I see situations where people have not set themselves up with the right structures to be able to access these finance, and they haven't set up the right processes. I really encourage every one of us to take advantage of the information that you've heard here today. WIMCAP is a program that is not just running this masterclass. We're putting together a capacity building training, which will be in the first quarter of next year. And it's really because we've identified these needs, across a lot of our entrepreneurs. And the idea is really to provide a platform where we're building capacity, we're training, but we're also sharing these nuggets with financial institutions that we have relationships with, whereby in no way it's going to be a guarantor like for these funding, but we will use our platform for good because we know that our women are important. Some of them just need the information. So I'm really grateful to all 231 or more of you that signed up today. I really hope that the engagement in the chat box is representative of the interest that has been shown today. And I encourage you to please fill out the evaluation form so that we know and we understand your points of need. With that said, I urge you, I can see some comments coming through from Uche Naibe and some other people saying that they have tried to join WIMBIZ and they haven't been able to, they haven't gotten a response. Can you please reach out to HQ? We have a new and improved WIMBIZ website. Everything is all dandy. Please contact us. Let's get you joining WIMBIZ so that you can take advantage of a lot of these nuggets that are available to our associates. With that said, I'd like to wish you all a wonderful evening. I'd like to thank you once again, everyone. And really just, let's go out there and be great. Let's be great with each other, for each other, and let's take advantage of everything. It's this last 2 years have been rough for many people, but I think that we must all hold on to the faith. We must all look within and really just not be tired, but do so in a structured manner. We do so in a manner that will ensure that the growth we see in our businesses are sustainable. So thank you all so much. Stay with WIMBIZ, okay? And we promised you 5 p.m. It's 5 minutes to 5. We promise and we
5 p.m.
We promise and we deliver. So thank you once again. And
yes. Evaluation form, please let them fill the evaluation form. Tell
please
them.
do your evaluation.
Can we get a recording of this?
Yes, there will be a recording that will be made available on the WIMBIZ YouTube, I believe. I think that is available to all, but usually our associates get a lot of information coming through on emails. Again, this is a plug for you to join WIMBIZ as an associate so that you take advantage of all the nuggets that can come through. But having said that, we will try to provide this information, not the presentation, but the recording on our YouTube.
Our emails? Are you sending the form to our email?
Yes.
The form the link to the form has been put on the
in the chat box.
So before you exit, I urge you to go onto the chat box, fill out the evaluation. It's very, very quick. And let's do so really quickly. And let's meet you at your point of need. Okay? Thank you all for your time. And have a good evening.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
have a
you.
Safe trip home. Safe journey, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you. Saudat, you did a great job. Thank you. You did a good
Thank you,
job.
Joma. Thank you, Saudat. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Hey, Johnny.
you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was a beautiful experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.